Well, good morning, my friend. Welcome to the Pastor's Podcast. Good to have you along with me today as we start the week out Monday morning. I wanted to say to many of you who've been asking where I was last week, I just had a busy week of traveling and not being able to do the podcast, but we're back this week, and I'm looking forward to a good week as we prepare here for our fall campaign starting this coming Sunday, October the 1st. Looking forward to that, seeing what God's going to do. Boy, how we need to push through on these kind of days. I hope that you are prepared. You are ready for God to do something mighty through you. And we had a wonderful day yesterday. Great day. Souls saved, people baptized. And I always look forward to that, seeing what God is doing in our church. Well, today I want to talk about get off the crutches. In Malachi chapter 1 and verse 4, the scripture says, "Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. They shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever." There is something about Edom in this verse that I admire greatly. Edom said, we were impoverished, but Edom chose not to stay there. Edom could have easily used his situation as a crutch to blame everyone else, but instead he chose to build from that situation. So Edom chose to take what life had dealt with him as an opportunity for greatness and to build from that point forward. And when I was in high school, I played on our basketball team. In one of our games, I was taking a jump shot, and when I came down, I curled my ankle. I landed on another person's foot, curled my ankle to the ground, and my ankle immediately, it just swelled up real big. And they took me to the hospital, and they did the x-rays. When the doctor saw it, he says, let's go for broke. And I remember as I did that, we learned that my ankle wasn't broke, but instead I tore all the tendons in my ankle. For 6 weeks, the doctor had an air cast on my right ankle, but he finally told me, he says, you got to get off the crutches. And he says, if your ankle's going to heal, he says, you cannot. He says, your ankle is going to hurt you if you stay in this air cast for any longer. What he was saying that it's going to cause immobility in my ankle if I didn't start using it. Now, that diagnosis could be used for people who find themselves in Edom's situation. Your life may be in an impoverished situation, but you have to choose that you must not let that situation be a crutch to stay there and blame everyone else for it. You can use the crutch that life has not been fair and stay on those crutches the rest of your life. Or you can get off the crutches and build something great with your life. Now, you make that choice. You're either your own worst enemy or you're your motivation to build from where you are. You see, you can beg everyone else and put a guilt trip on them for not helping you with life's unfairness. Or you can take responsibility for your life and build from where you are. Now, Pastor, let me talk to you a little bit. You have a choice. You can use excuses as to why you cannot build a church, or you can get a faith vision and build from where you are. Any pastor who has built a church has had to overcome something that could become a crutch and say, well, I can't do it. But those who built churches are those who had a vision of what God could do with their situation. They started building from their impoverished situation. Christian, you can use life not being fair to you as a crutch to gripe and complain. You can let how everybody treats you to be your excuse for not doing anything, or you can get off your crutch and choose to build your life from where you are so that God can do something through you. You see, every person who has done something with their life had an excuse they could have used to complain about life's unfairness. But they chose to get off the crutches and do something from where they are. And God used their drive and their initiative to make something of their life. Now, God shines brightly in the person's life who trusts him enough to stop using the crutch that life will give to them or to you, and build your life from that unfair situation. God shows his power in our weakness. God shows his power the greatest in those who don't beg others to help them get out of their life's unfairness, but they take the initiative to do something with their life from the situation where life has been unfair. Now, you got to lay your crutches down. Get a vision for your life. Trust God. Take the initiative to build from where you are. You see, when you lay crutches down, you'll find that those crutches were the only thing holding you back from going forward and doing something great for God. So now let me ask you a question. What is your crutch, my friend? What are you using as an excuse? Well, I've got this problem and this is happening and this. I'm just going to quit and use an excuse. Get off yourself. Stop letting your excuses be the crutch that you lean on, because that's the only thing that's holding you back. You got to understand, those who God used the greatest were not the most talented, did not have everything given to them. They just determined that where they are, they're not going to stay there. They're going to do something great for God and let God become that one who uses them in a mighty way. My friend, get off your crutches today. Do something for God. And let's see what God can do with us as we continue to work through our hard times. Let's make it happen. Well, my friend, I hope this is a great help to you today. Now, let's remember today, be good to everyone. Everyone's having a tough time. Have a great day, my friend.